I'm Kate Nelson.
And I'm Aidan Watt.
And today we're going to be talking about very exciting things here on Common Agenda. Don't change the channel yet, because tonight you're in for a very special treat. That's right, it's Halloween. And you know what that means? Christmas is only a few months away, folks.
Can't wait for Santa.
Can't wait for Santa. But before we carve up some pumpkins and dance to the graveyard smash, let's take a look back at this week at Emerson.
Protests were recently held by Emerson staff members demanding an end to low wages. Rochelle Murray, Emerson's costume shop supervisor, stood side by side with protesters and was quoted saying, "Every building has been used as an excuse as to why we don't have enough money to raise our base wages." That's right, folks. The buildings and dorms that you all love to complain about are preventing hard workers like Mrs. Murray from getting fair wages.
And she's not alone. Emerson has been refusing to increase our budget here at Common Agenda for years, giving us the same bogus excuses as they were giving to Miss Murray. It was only after an endless barrage of angry faxes and threats of disbarment that forced the school to give in to our demands. So you see, nonviolent protests really are the only pathway to change.
That's right. Another shocking story this week involved a senior by the name of Johnny Luna, who was forced to wait 2 whole hours for the Emerson shuttle to take him back to his dorm in Fenway. Just imagine.
You're standing alone on the sidewalk.
It's midnight.
In the freezing cold, you just consumed whatever mystery meal the DH offered you that night.
You're expecting the shuttle to arrive momentarily, but instead it doesn't show up for 2 whole hours. And when it finally does, it sits there for 20 minutes.
This course of events is what prompted Mr. Luna to say, "Screw it," and take the mile-long journey home.
You know, I barely feel safe walking in broad daylight when I grab my triple mocha grande deluxe frappuccino.
Let alone walking in the middle of the night. Frightened to walk alone, Emerson quickly came to the rescue and sent Mr. Luna an escort to walk him safely back to his dorm.
But the escort was Winston, our school's beloved pseudo-mascot corgi. Mr. Luna was quite satisfied and began to walk with Winston when the handsome duo were confronted by a pack of Satanist muggers. Mr. Luna did not feel afraid, for he knew that once the robbers and once they saw Winston's corgi's little scrumptious little face, they would repent and abandon their evil worshipping ways, finally having seen the light in Winston's heavenly face.
These people have still not been found, but that's fine, because Winston and Mr. Luna returned home safe, slightly pissed off, but safe.
To be honest, I'm really just interested in that dog's safety.
Well, it's a very cute dog.
So cute.
But anyway, before we dive into the debauchery that is Halloween, we need to remind everyone to be safe and
Boring!
Aidan, come on, we're on the Emerson channel. You're supposed to be my loyal sidekick. Tell the students out there to be safe and careful and, not to party too hardy.
Wait, okay, I'm not gonna tell them not to party too hardy when this is the one time of year we can engorge ourselves with sugar, chocolate, and Halloween-themed pretzels.
I mean, I disagree, but as long as you do everything responsibly, I guess that's okay.
We'll debate on that.
Okay, we'll debate later. Anyway, up next, we're going to take a look through of our a scary tour of a haunted house in Massachusetts, one designed specifically to terrify the meek, fragile Emerson student.
Stop it, you're scaring me! Breaking news! This week, little building renovation plans were leaked through yet another accidental email scandal Tuesday evening. Instead of being sent to the mailing list, top secret important people only, it was sent to the entire student body list. Hey, they both start with the same letter, so I don't blame them.
Yeah, I can't blame them either. Anyway, the blueprints were released, and it turns out the little building is currently being renovated into a haunted house for Halloween next Tuesday. Yep. Your tuition dollars are hard at work, people. We can only speculate what the final product is going to look like. So, speculate we shall. Here's a few tips for the little building construction workers out there, because we know you're listening, on how to make the spookiest haunted house Emerson has ever seen. Picture this.
First, you gotta start with a tap-in, the kind that's, the black box of death that everybody taps
the square
in.
Box.
Yeah, but they tap and it doesn't work. The student tries and taps again, but they just get a beep of red light in return. Tap and tat, and the tears start welling in their eyes. Their stomachs drop as they realize they don't have tap access here. They stand in shame behind the desk as the desk attendant rolls her eyes at the student, who stares at the plastic candy pumpkin on the desk, trying to refrain from crying. The attendant picks up the phone and calls someone unseen. They mutter a few words into the phone and then hang up, telling the student that they've got one free pass this time, but this time only. Emerson students are terrified of conflict, so this will hurt them right where it hurts.
Next, you've got to add in a rickety elevator. Take inspiration from the one in the fitness center. Old, barely functional, slow moving. A major key is that you've got to make sure that the doors stay closed around 30 seconds after the elevator reaches the floor. Go full Tower of Terror on it. The students will walk right into the elevator and to escape the anxiety-inducing tension of the previous interaction, and this is where they will get sucked into the next trap. Plant 2 politically conservative middle-aged adults in the elevator and invite them to have a polite discussion about the state of our country. The Emerson student will feel suffocated by the conversation and attempt to escape as quickly as possible, but they're stuck in a confined space. Terrifying. I would suggest that the conservative asks the opinion of the students, but honestly, I think that might be a little too scary.
Oh my gosh, my heart's racing.
I know,
But
me
when
as
they
well.
finally arrive to the next floor, they exit furiously, but are only met with the relocated Office of Financial Aid. They take a number and get in line. They reach the front of the line and show their ID, but because it's what everybody's doing, hey, that's Emerson. The kind-looking woman at the desk starts to look a little bit less kind as she hands the student a billing statement saying they owe a full year's tuition all over again.
Oh gosh.
The panic sets in. How could this have happened? They wonder, maybe this whole time I've been interpreting econ wrong. They rush out the door in a panic and are bombarded in the stairwell by people asking if they want to act in a short film. Oh, no. A conversation between two Emerson students about Tarantino is amplified through the acoustic stairwell. A student brushes the student and drops the laptop and lighting gel. And a student, as you go to pick it up,
Oh God.
they're angry, but you apologize, but you don't know whether or not you should just run away or if they should apologize too. So you just get out of there. And finally, you make it through the door at last and run through the lobby. But it doesn't end there. They stumble down Boylston Street towards 2B and they cough through the blinding smoke clouds in front of Walker. They trip and stumble trying to get through the velvet ropes in front of Whiskey Saigon. They finally make it, check their Apple Watch and shudder. It's 12:35 a.m., but where'd the time go? It's been a lot longer than they originally thought it was. The trains have stopped running. They have to sleep in the common.
Which, you know, it isn't that bad, provided you stay alert and aware of your surroundings. After all, the Boston Common is less a haven for ghosts and goblins as it is for strange men in tattered flannels yelling at you for nickels. A Halloween touchstone in its own right. The conflict-adverse, drunk out of their mind, Emerson Hollow Weekender needs to pitch their own crowd-funded dramedy web series to someone. But if you survive the night and the wood bench you now call home treats you well, you're still not in the clear.
We haven't even gotten started on the sheer unbridled madness of events like getting your ID snapped at the TAM, or being chastised by your parents regarding your risky choice in major, or stepping inside the Cutler Majestic at any point in time ever. And you'll definitely need an exorcism after undertaking the 50-foot nighttime walk from the AMC Lowe's back to the dorms, all while avoiding the weirdos storming the streets from the showing of Rocky Horror that just let out 5 minutes ago. Talk about horror!
But I guess if this is how Pelton chooses to spend his money, then who am I to judge? Let us celebrate this new addition to the Emerson College family of really tall buildings. At long last, you can add spooky, haunted scariness to your list of things that this fine school is known for, alongside overbearing hipster cigarette ash and an ever-present sense of doom. And now, it is time for our inaugural segment of Emerson's Lion, where a correspondent, Brandon Beach, Maya O'Day, and Owen Lyons will test students' knowledge of Emerson College's new policies. Will students remain humble in their complete ignorance of their own school's guidelines, or will they endlessly talk about things they've never even heard of? I bet a DH swipe on the latter.
Oh, I believe that.
Hi, I'm Brandon Beach.
I'm Maya O'Day.
I'm Owen Lyons, and this is Emerson's Lion. This week, we're testing Emersonians' knowledge on new policies.
So, as you know, Emerson has its ever-changing policies. How do you feel about the Iwasaki Library as of Monday officially being a tech-free zone?
What?
As of tomorrow, the Iwasaki Library is going to become a tech-free zone.
Phones are turned off at the door. No laptops.
Wait, what? Wait, what?
Yeah,
That's a lie.
They're taking out all of the computers.
No, you're lying to me
I'm
right now.
really
I
not.
swear to
I'm
God.
not lying.
I understand the intentions of like keeping things in like the quiet space to work.
Listen, the old logo is one of my favorite parts about Emerson, and so is the tech in the Iwasaki Library. Because
where else am I gonna watch movies other than my apartment?
Exactly.
This breaks my heart. Are you serious?
How can you do your homework without a computer or phone?
Big party goer?
Yeah.
You like the TAM?
No.
Okay, how would you feel if I told you that next week starting Friday,
Yeah.
RAs are allowed to breathalyze you after 12 o'clock? Randomly.
I live off campus. They can't catch me.
They want you to read more. It's a library. It's what it's there for.
But we're like mostly film and media arts. Doesn't that take away our purpose?
No, there are editing labs in Emerson.
Okay, but like who knows about that? The Iwasaki Library.
The film people know about that.
Okay,
So, along with all of Emerson's new policies, we are also creating a $10,000 budget for new Sodexo uniforms for all of the dining hall workers. So, what are your thoughts on that?
It just seems like Emerson sort of embedded Sodexo a little bit too much.
Yeah.
They paid for this, which is cool. This is beautiful.
Yeah.
But it means that we're contractually obligated to keep using Sodexo. It means we can't use any better food service.
Yeah.
Starting November 1st, they're doing a thing in Walker since the gym is so far away from campus now. They're going to be shutting off the elevators every couple hours and forcing you to use the stairs so Emersonians can actually get their exercise in. Because nobody wants to go all the way to the gym. I'm on my way to the gym. They're shutting down the elevators at random points in the day, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So you have to use the stairs and get your exercise.
Okay. They just want off-campus students like so off-campus that we're like graduated and gone. That's what Emerson's doing to us. They just don't want us here. It's fine.
I need to write an essay.
Then they're saying that you can go somewhere else because they want to make Iwasaki
Okay,
completely
so
tech-free.
go to like the 2B lobby or something.
Yeah.
Like go to the pier. Emerson, just
Yep.
like come on. I love you guys, but stop, please. Stop.
Something so sad.
Sorry, you need a hug?
Oh.
What's going on? These are terrible policies. That's my official statement.
Yeah, it's good.
Welcome back, Emersonians. I'm Peyton Lewis, the host of the Evie-nominated and Evie-losing show, Common Agenda. Last season, we may have had a midlife crisis, but this summer we really found ourselves. After some deep soul-searching and some long nights mourning our defeat, we're back here for another season of the saltiest content and shenanigans on the Emerson channel. This season, we'll dive deep into Emerson's favorite subcultures: film bros, hipsters, and other white boys with brown hair. Turn us on Monday evenings at 8:30 on the Emerson channel.
Guys, I cannot have any more ramen.
Yeah, this food is really disgusting.
These are herbal cough drops.
Well, they're better than nothing.
I have some fruit if you guys want.
Those are Skittles.
Just trying my best.
Well, maybe we can just go to the DH?
What?
Oh my god, that stuff is prison food.
Well, do you have any other ideas?
Well, I'm like starving, so like we have to do something.
Did someone say something? Hi kids, Kitchen Man here. Do you know you can tune into Emerson Channel College Kitchen for great dorm-friendly, budget-friendly recipes?
Okay, but like what if I need to go out to brunch with my girls?
Try Taste of Boston, where we profile great local restaurants in the Boston area.
What if I only want to eat competitive chef's food?
Tune in to Sliced, our brand new competitive cooking show.
I want to watch College Kitchen.
But wait!
We are College Kitchen!
Welcome back to Common Agenda. It is time for our first and last edition of our in-studio segment, Halloween Costumes with Kate and Aidan. Aidan, do you have any specific Halloween costumes this year?
As a matter of fact, I do. If you want a costume that's classic but won't offend anybody, try Vegan Werewolf. You'll still strike fear into the hearts of small children, but your carbon footprint will be cut in half.
Well, that's good. We're all about cutting down our carbon footprints. I recently got a pair of carbon shoes.
That sounds good. For the environment and
for everyone involved. I have actually a really good Halloween costume idea. It's perfect for any Emerson student. Engineering major. So if for one night you don't want to disappoint your parents and explain that, yes, my major is real, maybe you'll even feel what it's like to have parents who are proud of you.
Oh, that's good. I would love that. I would love to feel that, experience that for the first time.
Engineering, I honestly don't even know what that would entail.
I think it's something with like tools.
Well, yeah. Well, if it's yeah.
If you want something a little more familiar, just run down to Newberry Comics and grab some Brandon clothing. This is for a film boy costume. My suggestion would be a Pulp Fiction shirt, Big Lebowski hat, Dark Knight socks, and Boondock Saints underwear.
Oh yeah, and maybe get like a lot of bags to just cover yourself
just
in.
like a keychain with a bunch of keys on it, and maybe just tape.
And just hang it in the Boston Common all day, and just be like.
Six.
Yeah. If you want to try something a little easier, try wearing plain clothing and handing out pamphlets with information about Big Sugar's influence in Washington. You know, all those people on the streets are always like, here, have some Nesquik, or like, here.
Splenda,
Red Bull, you know what I mean?
Man, that gets me every time. But if you want to do something a little bit more promiscuous, but don't want to try dressing as the 68 words banned on the Emerson channel. Just grab a pixelated t-shirt and an air horn. Just remember to bleep yourself.
Yeah, it's very important to bleep yourself. Are you maybe tired of being in the crowd of sexy black cat? Why not try sexy Emerson Lion? Not only will you be the king of the jungle or the basement party in Alston, but you will also show some school spirit, which is always important. All you need is a lion's mane, your favorite Emerson merchandise, and a significant amount of exposed skin.
Go Lions. I'm actually, full on. That sounds great. I love the idea of doing that.
Yeah, I think that's
showing my support in the most supportive way I can.
Exactly.
As a lion. Emerson is my school. This is my city, my campus. All right, so that's just a cute way of saying one of our primary residence halls is under major construction. This Halloween, you dress as your favorite fixture of Emerson's campus, the relentless construction. You can dress as the little building. All you need is a massive tarp and an air of mystery. Nobody's quite sure what lurks beneath little building's ghostly tarp anyway.
Well, yeah, I mean, you could also do, you could also just get some scaffolding, some PVC pipe, and just
a lot
go as scaffolding. Or like the angry workers.
Loud hammers.
Loud hammering, you could be a jackhammer. Really anything would work.
That sounds very, very tempting, actually, too.
Is that what you're going to choose, do you think?
I don't know. I really am thinking about that sexy lion, though.
Yeah, I mean, well, we can't both be the sexy lion.
Oh, you're right, you're right.
We need a little diversity in our costumes. But we'll figure that out later.
That sounds, I think, a little bit good on the costumes, I guess. But
yeah, I think we're good for costumes. You gonna trick or treat this Halloween?
Maybe or may not, but I do actually have a lot to say about that. I've had a lot of thoughts that's been brewing in my mind specifically about Halloween in general. Actually, more specifically about the age where you're too old to trick or treat, but too young to drink and party.
Okay.
And that's why I'm gonna jump in a little bit of a rant about it, okay?
Okay, take it away.
So, Halloween, wonderful time. It's beautiful, it's happy, a lot of people, ghosts, goblins, but your friends think that you're too old to go trick-or-treating, right?
Yeah.
If they're saying, hey, Kate, you can't go out there, right? You feel a lot of pressure, this makes you feel sad, right?
Yeah.
Maybe you get a little angry.
Because I want to trick-or-treat.
And that's why I say no. If you want to trick-or-treat, chase your passion. Some call it Halloween, I call it a day of opportunity, all right? The day where you can go out, you can throw on a mask, you can be anonymous, and you can just, go out there and take that candy. Because sometimes, you might get lectured by adults if you show up and they're like, why are you taking this candy? But who are they to yell at you for taking a 5-cent piece of candy when you are just chasing your passion? You know what? That's what I believe in, passion. And if trick-or-treating is not your thing, that's cool too. You can go to a party, but I understand that not everyone's invited to parties, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it can be hard. It was, especially back in high school, was anybody at Emerson invited to parties? I don't know. But let's go back to Halloween as a day of opportunity. You throw on that mask, you become anonymous, nobody knows who you are, you knock on the door, of course I'm gonna let Batman in and party with me. It's a day of opportunity, but costumes are expensive, I get it.
Oh yeah.
Don't wanna shell out $90 on your Ghostbusters costume. You can make your own, get crafty. Get a piece of paper, cut some holes for eyes, tape it to your face. Now you're paper face, all right?
That's a good costume.
Paper face is a beautiful costume. You can go out, hit the streets, hit the parties. I know I want to party with paper face too.
Yeah.
Then you fulfill your Halloween dream, the day of opportunity. It's happened, you're paper face, you go out, you've experienced fun, and then when you're back to school the next day, you'll have a little bit of air of confidence around you. You know what? Everybody enjoyed having a great time with paper face that weekend, and you remained anonymous, so they don't necessarily know it was you, but everyone knows it was you. Your crush maybe smile at you, your friends kind of look at you and nod of approval. Everyone knows you were the hero of the weekend, you were paper face, all right? That's Halloween, that's the opportunity, and guess what? You might have grabbed a little bit of candy on your way home too, because I don't say no to candy.
Oh, well, no one would.
Yep, and that's what I love about Halloween. What about you, Kate? You say, got any thoughts about that?
What do I love about Halloween? Well, I personally think that if you are dressed up and someone refuses to give you candy, I think that is unacceptable.
Exactly.
And if I show up at your house, you know, in my Dash from the Incredibles costume, from the Incredibles movie costume, and you're like, you're too old, I'm gonna freak out a little bit.
You have every right to freak out right there, because I would be dumping the whole bowl of candy.
I'd be
like, Dash, perfect one to take all of this.
Yeah. You know, I wouldn't do anything mean. I would maybe just give them a disappointed look and then move on to the next house. My dentist actually lived next door to me when I lived at home, and he would always give me a toothbrush, and I'd be like, man, like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
What are you doing here, dude?
Well, dental hygiene can be important, but I only have one suggestion. Is just don't do what I did last year and dress up like Shaggy, because like zoinks, you'll end up going home alone. And it can be kind of, no one really is into the whole, I didn't look like I was wearing a costume. It was sad.
Oh, dude. Anyway, that was Aidan's rant of the week.
Thank you.
So now we all know how he feels about Halloween and Halloween weekend.
Chase your passion, and it's the day of opportunity.
Follow your dreams. That's all we can say here at Common Agenda. And we'll be right back after this short commercial break.
Hi, I'm Aaron Kinigsberg, host of EIV's The Dish. Tune in every Friday for your chance to see what kind of bow tie I pulled out of my closet today.
Maggie, did you put up the stairs yet?
No, that was your job.
Maggie, oh my God, I do it every week.
No,
I told you this is the one
but we
week
talked
I didn't
about
want
this.
responsibility.
Okay, I need to pick my wedgie.
Oh my God, look, they got us slushies. Freeze. Oh my God, we're here.
He's queer.
Now get used to it. Come on, give me my mic. Mic me. Hi, I'm Christian Mudrick.
And I'm Maggie Morlap.
And you're watching Real Reactions.
On the Emerson channel.
Common Agenda, thank you for joining us today. We hope that we were able to help you choose your costume for this year. I personally have chosen the scariest costume of all time, the Emerson swoosh.
Oh, dear gee. Oh, wow.
It's frightening, right?
Yeah, oh my gosh.
Have you chosen your costume yet?
Yes, Kate, I'm actually currently in my costume.
Oh.
You haven't noticed?
Really? What are you, man? Businessman?
No, I'm dressed as my idol, fashion icon, superhero, and personal god, Lee Pelton. I mean, many people have told me that we share a striking resemblance, so...
Ooh, okay. Maybe give me another spin. Maybe I'm just not seeing it. Can we get more light on him? Maybe, okay. Well, you know...
You don't see it?
Well, you know what? It's fine. You look great. You really look good.
I thought more people would actually get it this year, you know?
Well, have you done this before?
Oh, every year.
Oh, you do this every year?
Mostly just...
Okay.
Like I said.
And it hasn't worked out yet?
I don't know. I just want to be Lee.
Well, don't we all? Lee Pelton is a wonderful man. We are so glad that you decided to join us for this Halloween edition of Common Agenda. Thank you to the segment team for exposing us Emersonians for the frauds that we are.
Just, where have I gone wrong?
It's okay, you look great, Lee. Give it a rest already. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed our fanfic-esque little building haunted house and our Emerson costume segment, also known as a thinly veiled attempt for our writing team to Photoshop an image of vegan werewolf.
Because as we all know, the writers are a bunch of furries.
Furries? Man, I don't even know where you're coming from right now.
I can explain it to you if you
Anyway, on that note, I guess we'd like to thank you all for tuning in. We hope we see you next week. Any words of motivation before Halloween, Lee?
Yes, I'd just like to remember for everybody to be safe, make smart decisions, and that the best candy does not have razor blades in it. Pelton out.
That is sure excellent advice. Thank you so much for watching our Halloween episode. We'll see you next week.